Hello and welcome to another bonus episode for the Wind and the Willows video reviews. It's come around again. It's been 4 weeks, so this week it's Gypsy Toad. Quite an unusual one, this one. I love it, I do like it, but it's so unlike so many episodes. Very little of Ratty and Mole, a lot of Toad of course, and then there's this Gypsy character in it. Who's a beautiful puppet, human character. But yeah, he only pops up in this episode, and it's just an interesting one, just a bit unusual. I had this originally on the Bumper Special Thames video release. I don't know if anyone had that. I've got a couple of copies of it down here. It was released at one point with an offer to send off a calendar for the year. I think the year was 1991. Calendar for it. I've never been able to track down that calendar. I'm always on the lookout on eBay and so on, but if any of you remember that calendar or sent off to it, I'd love to hear from you. I'm just intrigued by what the calendar was, what the pictures are like and so on. So yeah, it was one of those episodes. Let's start the episode and I'll carry on chatting. So I'm pressing play right now. So this one, like I say, it was on that Bumper Special video, which had 5 episodes. And before this starts, to tell you just a story with that. I remember vividly that being available in the Boots store in my hometown. And I remember, I don't know what age I was, but I remember seeing it and I was desperate to get it. I really wanted it. I kept begging my mum, please, please, please. But she didn't get it. She wasn't being nasty, but she was just kind of, we can't have everything, can we? We had so many videos by that point, but God, I was so intrigued by them when I looked at the episodes. I thought, Toad in Love, that sounds fascinating. But yeah, years went by, never didn't get it for a while, but eventually found it years later when I was doing my A-levels. Of all times, we had a trip to Oxford and I happened to go to an HMV store, which was still a bit early for DVD. I guess DVD was kind of starting to come out then. But they had these VHS videos, and lo and behold, there it was. Years after it had been released, so it was. You'd think it had been deleted, but there was a copy there. So obviously, grabbed it. Had to grab it. So yeah, and that was the first time I watched these episodes. And interesting mix of episodes in that video. It's almost the first 5 in series 5, not quite, but this one definitely stands out in the whole of series 5 as being beautifully animated. I mean, it is stunning. Look at the animation of Toad here. I mean, it's Paul Berry, Lloyd Price. I think it's, Jackie Cocker episode. I think Lloyd Price was on it. I've worked with Lloyd at Aardman. But it's, when I look at Toad, it's absolutely faultless. I mean, they really were masters by this point. I love that way he says, would be luck. And you can tell that this is definitely a different Toad puppet to the one I just reviewed, the regular episode. Just reviewed Hall for Sale, and you can just tell his look is so different. It's kind of more expressive in many ways. And then there's this human gypsy, voiced by an actor called Norman Bowler. And he's a lovely character. He's great. I mean, I've said before, I always feel slightly uneasy when there's an episode with human characters. It does look a bit odd, but it's Kenneth Graham. How do you get that scale right? But out of all of them, this one feels the most, the one you can forgive the most. I don't know why, really. It's just me, I guess. He's actually wearing a jacket there, a waistcoat, that pops up quite often on human characters. We've seen many humans wear it. Talented Toads it's worn. One or two others. Saw one recently, can't think which one now, but anyway. This set as well is the one that would have been in Toad Astronomer and various, it's the Courtyard, Mercury the Motor Bicycles, episodes like that. I love that. And that's, again, a pose we don't see Toad in often with his legs up. We actually just saw a similar one in Hall for Sale. Look at that yawn, beautifully done. Double take and everything. Everything's just so beautifully timed and paced. I love this here, is it? All right. And he just realises, oh, of course, he did a stroke of work, did he? He just sat on his backside. Shame it's a bit dark there. You know, on these shots here, you just want a bit more light. You know, I guess it's just the shadows of the walls of the actual set, but these days you would never do that. You'd always get a bit of a bounce ball in there or something, just to get some light on him. Remember it well, and all the shows I worked on at Cosgrove Hall. Little Robots was the first one, and lighting takes a while to do it properly, and you move bounce balls and things about wherever you are. You don't want shadows, you want the characters to stand out. Still natural, you've got to think where your key light is, your fill light is, but you've got to kind of light them, and these days they didn't, even by this point, they weren't taking it seriously enough, I guess. It's a shame, sometimes it can be a bit of a letdown, especially when you can't see these beautiful sets, costumes and animation. I like that when he said sky and then we're looking down from the sky. Again, really good directing there. So it's interesting. Like basically, this guy's talking Toad into what it's like living as a gypsy. And so he's been very kind to him. Now he's invited him to a gypsy supper, and Toad's becoming quite intrigued by the way he lives. And it's nice. Toad's showing his very gentlemanly side. He's actually engaging with this fella. He's genuinely interested in him, in his way of life, and who he is and where he comes from. But it's not the first time Toad's been fascinated by living like a gypsy. Of course, back in the original film and the book, he had the caravan, didn't he? He went out and lived the gypsy life, or the Romany life. Nice wink there and a bit of a mime there of not air guitar, air violin. Is that a thing? Dunno. Now that's a very unusual look. At first glance, this doesn't look like The Wind in the Willows. This looks like another series. That pink sky. It doesn't look artificial. It just looks different, stylised, I guess. Slightly. I've always thought this series. Let me know what you think. See if you agree with this. I think of this series as not really stylised animation. I think it's trying to be as realistic as it can be. But interestingly, Brian Cosgrove has said in an interview they developed their own Wind in the Willows style, which I guess, yes, it has to have a style, but it replicates real life so closely. I mean, obviously the puppets are exaggerated versions of real life, of a toad and of a rat and so on, and of course they're human. They are human characters underneath, but when you think of the style of the overall look of it, it feels so real that it replicates real life in the way that kind of like a doll's house would, or even better. It's better than that, isn't it? I mean, the original film, of course, was nominated, or the series, I think Series 1 was nominated for an award for its costumes, but in a drama category. So it's opposite TV live-action dramas, and that's how it was seen. So, oh look at that, isn't that stunning? Looks really good, this episode. On the DVD, this one really stands out. Now that outfit Toad's wearing, we've seen it pop up a bit, but very rare for Series 5. It's his, what you might call his rusty outfit, his rusty suit that is in the archive as well. I love that music. Lovely piece. And I love this. This is obviously a miniature Toad in the background. Miniature trees, I guess. Don't quite know how much depth there is, but false perspective, and I think they would have put a screen up to kind of make it look a bit saturated in the distance. I love this. This is really unusual. Badger having the laughing fit. He does do so in another episode that I still yet to review, but not quite as much as this. Badger laughing there. It's so unusual to see him laughing. Usually so grumpy and serious. This is one of the funniest scenes. You've got Badger laughing, which is funny as it is, and then Toad getting his words muddled up. Beautiful animation. I'd love to know animated Badger laughing there. There's no reference for that because we've seen, as I say, very rarely see Badger laughing. Look at that. Look at that posing. I mean, it's faultless. You know, if I say to an animator, oh, look at Wind in the Willows for reference, you know, you won't see finer animation. Unfortunately, they're unlikely to come across this episode because it's only available in the complete box set. You can't buy it. You can't buy Series 5 on its own, apart from the foreign release, the German release, I think. And they're unlikely to come across this, or they'll probably look at the film, which, yes, is still beautifully animated, but everybody came such a long way. This is so many years later, you know, and the models are better and so on. Animators need to look at this one, don't they? I mean, it is one of the best ones I've seen. It really is. That, he told me. You think of what Toad's leaving behind, so the whole house, all his things, and he's just taken very few simple belongings. And now we've got a whole montage now of Toad sort of, he's walked, we don't know quite how far, but he's walked a fair distance from home. He's trying to find an ideal spot to live like a gypsy. So already he's spoken about some discomfort of being a bit chilly. We don't need tents, so what's he going to do? He's going to make his own shelter. To be fair, he's come equipped. He's brought some stuff with him, and it turns out to be the right sort of stuff. Trouble is, he's no good at putting it up. And that little rucksack he's got, that's recycled prop from earlier episodes. Look at that animation of the tying the knots. Hard to do. And to make the rope look slack, you know, when you're animating, you need wire in it to be able to animate the rope, of course. You can't just let a rope hang there, like a real rope. When you're animating, it has to be bent and be posed, of course. It looks so natural the way it's been taught there. Again, there's that lighting problem, isn't there? I mean, yes, we've got trees. We need the shadows of the trees, but sometimes we can barely see what Toad's doing. And it's such a shame. You know, that would probably happen to me if I'd chucked a sheet over the rope there. That would happen. I don't think this would happen to me. I don't think that would quite happen. Of course, though, it has to happen to Toad. Now, golden rule of thirds. This is the third time he's trying, and he succeeds. So that's good. That's the right number. So it does look cosy, though, doesn't it? Really, he's got his little lamp there. He's trying to light a match there. Trying to get himself some food, I guess. Or a fire, you know. I love Toad. This particular Toad puppet when he's a bit down. I mean, he looks a little bit like the Isambard puppet from Talented Toads, which has got, like I say, a slightly different look. And even that animation of the rope going, you know, the phrase of the rope just giving way. Beautifully done. Again, they had wires in them. That's so difficult to animate. You know, keeping all those folds looking natural. It has to be a certain type of material again to be able to animate it. I like lighting with this because this is supposed to be dark now, but it's lit enough for us to clearly see Toad. His little oil lamp helps, of course. Random shot of an owl there. Very rarely see an owl, but they do pop up from time to time. Now, doing lightning in stop motion is great fun because you do it obviously physically on set. It's never, even these days, it's rarely a post-production thing. You just set up some lights that you can kind of turn on and off to light up the whole set very vibrantly. And I did it on Pirates. I did a lightning lightning shots on the Pirates film, and it was good fun. I just had these little buttons I could press as and when I felt I needed to. I love the animation of the wind as well there. So you got the leaves, willow leaves, which is nice. I said earlier we don't see much of Ratty and Mole, and I kind of almost forgot about this ending with Ratty. So it's Mole. Mole we see very little of, and Badger. That's what I meant. Yeah, Badger and Mole. Now we've got this. I mean, this would have been quite laborious to animate because you've got Toad shivering all the way through, very, very naturally. And you can kill it if you're animating shivering. You can kill it if you forget to go one way, or you go too far one way and then not the next. You'll lose that momentum. So it's very well maintained, very consistent. And Ratty's wearing a nice vibrant red cardigan there. There's some lines in this that are kind of out of character almost, or unusual, like Ratty then when he said, "Can you move out of the way?" Perfectly fine thing to say, but it's just you rarely hear Ratty speak like that. All the characters changed so much by the time we got to Series 5. You know, they've evolved so much. And we very, very rarely see Ratty and Toad together. You know, all the way through we've had this sense that they are old friends. You know, certainly from, you know, when you think of the film. So Toad's basically had enough of being a gypsy. That's what's obvious to us, the audience. And I think Ratty sees that as well, doesn't he? But Toad just doesn't want to let on. He wants to keep Ratty believing that he still loves the gypsy life. He just thought he'd come and pay a visit to Ratty because he thought they'd be worried about him. Now, interesting dialogue here. So, yeah, that is treating Toad like a child, isn't it? He's actually thinking of Toad like a child. Like Ratty's saying, you're never in bed before midnight. Now, obviously, children would be, usually. But the way Ratty then just he says, Badger's always telling you off about it. So it's just Badger telling you off. You know, you'd only tell a child off like that, wouldn't you? Beautiful posing aim with Toad. Can't help keep going on about the animation quality. Now I'll talk about the different Toad puppets. That to me looks like the other Toad puppet, as in there are at least 3, I think, and there are 2 that had this kind of look from the Jackie Cocker episodes, and I think the one where Toad was outside was the other one that's. I always think of, as I say, the Isambard one from the Vitality Toad special. I'm just beginning to tell them apart. Now it's just got an odd ending. This it almost feels like it's not resolved, or it's just we've ended too soon somehow. It's something about the way. Toad's had enough of being a gypsy. The gypsy's there, and Toad doesn't want to talk to him, doesn't want to face him. Now again, this is a bit different for Ratty as well. Snatching his dressing gown, saying it's not his old one. It's just a bit out of character. It's just an odd way to. So you certainly had enough of being a gypsy. So in a way, when you get to this point, you kind of think, yeah, it's one of those episodes that is beautifully executed, and yet it's not the strongest story. And that's why I think of it as just a bit of an odd one. I do like it, I do enjoy it. It's just a bit... why doesn't really go anywhere, and kind of and then just ends. It's just like Toad tries being a gypsy, he doesn't like it. It's almost, yeah, a bit of a craze, and then he's sick of it right at the end of it, you know. And this is an odd bit with this music and Gypsy sort of walking away, and Toad, you don't really know what Toad's thinking there. I like that. I mean, nice bit of comedy at the end there. But just like, yeah, he's just sort of going, oh, looking down, and you wonder, is he regretting it now? Is he thinking, oh, I should have followed him? He's like, oh dear. Oh, there we go, Paul Berry, Lord Price, yeah, what a team. This is all everyone else here. So yeah, let me know what you think of that one. Great moments in it, and yeah, every time I look at it, I genuinely think that's one of the very best episodes for animation quality. Yeah, absolutely stunning. You know, even surpasses some of my favourites from Series 4. Of course, this is series 5, so yeah, it's bound to get better. So, there we go. So that's Gypsy Toad. So we get through Series 5. I think we're up to 8 now or something. 7 or 8. So Jackie Cockle, of course. I mentioned Stuart Sutcliffe in the early one I interviewed, Hall for Sale, who came on board on that one. I think it was his first one. And I think I said before that he animated those end scenes of Toad in bed with his dying. Sorry, so it's 6 we've done so far, sorry. 6 from Series 5, so 7 to go, not even halfway yet. The next one is a really interesting one, a very, very odd one, but I think 1 or 2 people said they really like it. Hip Hip Soirée. This one was never released on video, and I've never seen it until it was shown on Channel 5, and it's a very odd one, very eerie one, very strange look to it. I mean, you've got an unusual crew for a start, and there's a dream. Toad has a nightmare, and quite a dark episode, and very, for me it's the oddest one in the whole of Series 5, but we'll talk about that when we get to it, of course, in 4 weeks' time. But please do join me next week, as I said in the Hall for Sale video, reviewing Wayfarers All next week, so do join me for that, and I shall see you soon. Thanks again, and all the best. Intelligent Mr. Toad.